UCT Nomawethu Solwandle. Nomawethu, what's happening on your side? Seems like we don't have Nomawethu yet, but we've seen a serious turn of events there at the Union buildings.
Yeah, it's for me, it's very concerning. You know, I've been watching these pictures for more than an hour now, and what I don't see student marshals. I don't see students trying to maintain discipline and talking to people who are. There's a big element now amongst this. If one can call it that, a kind of mob mentality is developing where people are copying what others are doing and things are being set alight and people are being quite aggressive in storming the police, throwing sticks and stones and the like over the perimeter fence at the police. It's a very combustible situation right now, and the thing that concerns me is I don't see anybody marshalling young people.
Let's now cross to our reporter, Nomawethu Solwandle, who is at UCT. Nomawethu, what's happening on your side?
Well, a very good afternoon to you. It's been very peaceful for the most part of the day down here at UCT. In fact, the academics actually joined or stood in solidarity with the students in full force today. You remember that yesterday there was a number or a group of academics that marched with the students, but today they were the ones that were leading the march. They were wearing their gowns and they actually marched from the upper campus of UCT right down to Bremner Administration Building, where they've just handed over a memorandum of demands to the powers that be here at UCT. And most importantly, of course, they're saying, yes, it is expensive to get an education in South Africa. Yes, it is expensive or difficult for some of the black children or poor children to come to this university. But another thing is that if you want to have police on this campus, then they must use force within limits. But to tell us more about the academic side, of course, we're now joined by Dr. Nomawethu. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you.
If you can just turn around, Doctor, so that we're not coming to you in profile.
All right.
Just, Doctor, why did academics decide to be part of all of this?
Well, this is not the first time that we have joined in with students. We recognize that what the students are talking about affects us very much. First, a context. This is happening in the context of a neoliberalism in which a lot of public goods are being privatized. And the fees crisis is part of a broader crisis about funding for tertiary education. We are not pretending that tertiary education is the only thing that requires funding in South Africa. Universities are forced to charge higher fees because their income and subsidies, importantly from government, is falling.
It's also very symbolic in the sense that the very people that are in this fight, the students, are fighting against the system used in this university. That's the system that you work for. Explain this to me.
Well, we work for the system, and in terms of hierarchy, we're certainly part of the power structure. But there are some of us who want to speak to that power, and we are not simply accepting this. And in expressing our solidarity with students, we acknowledge their courage in challenging, speaking truth to power about issues that we have been silent about for so long. And of course, it's not just the university that they're speaking to the government as well.
Dr. Nomawethu, in the fact that you've been silent for so long, why do you think it's taken academics so long to come out? Because this is not the first time we've seen students protesting.
No, well, in terms of student protest, we have not been entirely silent. I was just talking about the systemic funding that we know is an issue that threatens the very basis of the university. Well, academics represent a wide spectrum of opinions. Some feel that through negotiations you might be able to get the university to respond. But in many instances, it's just a realization that it is very difficult to get extra funding. But the students have energized us to say we need to speak up. We're not taking the leadership from them. This is their issue, but their issue is connected very much with what is happening at the university broadly.
Now, very briefly, before I let you go, Dr. Nomawethu, just give us a sense of what was in that memorandum that you've just handed over.
Well, the memorandum included demands about the withdrawal of the interdict, the court interdict and the presence of police. We wanted that to be withdrawn because it does not promote dialogue. It's only through dialogue that we'll be able to resolve the crisis. It also included, if I can refer to it here, it also included the issue of police brutality. It was uncalled for. Management could have talked with students and the academics that were supporting them. We were also talking about urging university administration to engage, to involve students and staff in engaging government about this crisis. Finally, we also want the university to be more transparent about its budgetary process.
Thank you very much for your time. Well, that was Dr. Nomawethu, who was part of the academics that led the students from upper campus here at UCT to Bremner Administration Building, where they've just handed over a memorandum of demands to the powers that be. Well, the deputy...